Hello and welcome to another Nimble video tutorial. Another week in the books. I got a lot I want to address in this video. You know, when you work on a project like Nimble, it is, it goes against the grain. It's not following what everybody else is doing in web development, HTML, and JavaScript. And you get a lot of people who will offer more negative comments or somebody who would be an obstacle or try to take down this project as opposed to support it. Earlier this week, I had someone attack my web forums. Of course, I'm a nice guy. I didn't put in a lot of security on the web forums. I allow anybody to register and post a question. I unfortunately can't do that anymore. I've got to, screen the people who I allow near this project or who I allow on my forums because of some people out there who want to, hinder the project as opposed to support it. I'll never understand why people are that way, but in this world we simply have to deal with it. So today I wanted to give you the final look at what I created with my document viewer. In an agile environment, the idea is to be able to create things or make adjustments on the fly or with seamless progress. When I designed this feature, or when I started this season, I had no idea I was going to design this feature. It was not in my plans. It just kind of stumbled upon it as I started to play with SVG graphics and Raphael. If you're new to Nimble, one of its trademark features is the ability to data bind REST services to any UI interface. But when playing around with this feature or demonstrating this feature, I decided to add the document view UML diagram, which will take any JSON object and break it down and show all of its hierarchy inside of a diagram. This opened up to many new ideas and new features. This is the final view of the UML document viewer, and it's actually a multi-purpose document viewer. It allows you to, of course, look at any REST endpoint. It'll show you the hierarchy between the structure, and in this new version, it allows you to take snapshots of your document. The beautiful part about that, and this is a feature I hadn't intended on creating, it allows you to see the history of your REST endpoints. So this is of course using random user me.40. But I have saved previous snapshots of 1.0 and 1.2 to give you a really nice look at how well it can track the history of your REST contracts. This saves inside the project, which is really nice. And as your backend guys might make changes, you'll be able to see those changes through a timeline because it pushes the time and date. It also, I wanted to show you this, it also will save the zoom property of the document. So if you've zoomed to a certain property or panned to a certain area, it will also save that in the snapshot. I thought that's a really, really cool feature because it allows you to compare documents and also track of sort of a history of your REST endpoints. To me, as a front-end developer, I've been in situations where the backend REST contract changed and we weren't notified. And if I had this type of feature, I would be able to see what it was as of a certain point and compare what it is now, and then be able to know what it changed, or even maybe even be able to predict when it changed. That being said, my previous video talked about making this an interface so it would be reusable. So if I simply go back to my hierarchy tree and bring that in manually into the project the same way I did before, we'll see if this document adjusts to the new factory. All the same commands. You have to initialize a tree or declare it as the new diagram, and you initialize it. Once you initialize it to the body, what's going to happen is this factory will now take over the control of the dialog. You should see all the contents clear, and the interface should adjust. After the factory has control over this dialog, we can now analyze the document. This hits the same random user me endpoint. It's bringing in, I think, about 100 users, and is a fully functioning and complete, employee tree. The new effects that I've added to this, of course, I fixed the paths so that they aren't curved, they draw in straight lines. I disable or modify the drag drop so that you can't fully drag drop an item anywhere. Here must stay on the same line as its original content, but you can shift it around, which adds for a nice effect. But everything else pretty much works the same. You can pan. There is no ability to snapshot. It's disabled because the interface for this factory did not, populate the function for taking snapshots or saving the layout. In the future, this could support all kinds of new features. I could harness this for schematics and other diagrams, but what I was really thinking about is harnessing it as a way to do mock layouts, similar to a drag drop interface, but just so that someone who's not the developer could lay out a flow for how dialogues should interact, where buttons should go, and be able to snapshot what the intent is behind a application. There are tools, mock tools like Balsamic and other things that you can do to do this type of layout, but this would be embedded right into Nimble. When you save it, it saves as a simple JSON file. So you would have a layout of a design in a JSON format that you could view right in Nimble and work back and forth within the real editor itself. What can I say? Over the past 2 years, I've been building prototypes and showing you how well Nimble can be agile and accurate. The one thing I want to get and push out is the consistency. The consistency of the design, the consistency of the accuracy, and more importantly, the efficiency and quality in which you can build web components, applications, and UI interfaces. I could do this all day. I could continue to build. In fact, I will continue to build new features and ideas as they come to me. But if you're not convinced yet, nothing will convince you. So you should probably go to a different channel. This is the Nimble solution, created by one developer. I hope you enjoy the show. Thank you for watching.